Welcome to a special deep dive curated just for you. Today, we're looking at a single, incredibly profound source.
Right, a composition by Guru Arjan Dev Ji.
Exactly. And our mission today is to understand how this text maps the journey from feeling completely suffocated by the world to finding this ultimate spiritual safety.
It's a huge shift.
It is. And to start, think about how sometimes you wake up at 3 a.m. and your brain just starts playing a highlight reel of every mistake you've ever made.
Oh, yeah.
Every flaw, every heavy demand. It just feels absolutely crushing.
It's a very universal weight. I mean, in the moment, that anxiety feels totally insurmountable.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the sickness this text diagnoses.
Right.
Interestingly, it was written in Rag Soohee.
Okay, so for anyone unfamiliar, a rag is essentially a musical framework or mood in the Sikh tradition.
Yeah.
And Rag Soohee specifically evokes this deep sense of devotion and emotional longing. So the very melody of the words sets up a yearning for relief from that 3 a.m. crush.
And the composition vividly describes our attachment to the world as a noose.
Oof, a noose.
Yeah, but simultaneously, it calls it a dream.
See, combining those two words is just striking to me. A noose feels intensely real.
Very physical.
Right, like a modern anxiety loop that physically traps you. But calling it a dream changes the stakes. It's like a nightmare you just need to wake up from.
That is the philosophical core of the text. By defining the world and our attachments as a dream, it's telling us they are inherently illusory.
So they feel terrifyingly tight, but their grip is actually fragile.
Exactly. Because the trap isn't fundamentally real, God, as the Redeemer, can easily step in and emancipate the individual.
Okay, but waking up from that nightmare usually leaves you staring directly at your own massive failures.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Right. And the text says God covers the shortcomings of his slaves, wiping out huge mountains of sin and corruption in an instant.
I really struggle with that.
Why is that?
Well, human nature tells us there's always a catch. We expect the ledger to balance, If I make a mountain of mistakes, I assume I have to do a mountain of work to fix it. We're so conditioned to transactional relationships. But this spiritual framework introduces a radical concept of grace.
Okay.
There is no ledger. Divine mercy is described as a profound, overwhelming force that just doesn't negotiate with human failings.
It doesn't negotiate.
Right. It simply dwarfs and dissolves them, no matter how mountainous they seem.
Wow. Okay, if that kind of mountain-clearing grace exists, the obvious question is how someone actually accesses it in the middle of a crisis.
Right.
The composition points to meditating on the name of the Lord to remove sorrow, disease, and calamity.
It does. But we have to understand what meditating on the name actually means in practice.
Yeah.
It isn't just mindlessly repeating a word. It's an active process of remembrance and spiritual realignment.
It makes me think of a powerful noise-canceling frequency.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
You put the headphones on, and instead of just ignoring the chaotic static of the world, you're actively generating a frequency that neutralizes it.
That actively generated frequency is your focus on the absolute reality of the divine. By anchoring your mind on the name, you are literally shifting your consciousness away from the illusory, painful noose of the world.
So the calamity loses its power.
Because you're no longer operating in the dream where it exists.
That shift leads to an incredibly comforting resolution.
It really does.
The text closes with the imagery of God bestowing a glance of grace, attaching the seeker to the hem of his robe, and bringing them into his sanctuary.
We arrive at the ultimate safety. The individual moves from being caught in the suffocating snare to finding absolute protection at the Lord's feet.
It's a profound remedy for those endless anxiety spirals.
Yeah.
So think about your own life for a second. If the traps of this world are merely a dream, what towering mountain of worry, regret, or failure keeping you up at night might actually be an illusion just waiting for a moment of grace to vanish completely?